We have breaking news as the Los Angeles Lakers have just officially robbed the NBA. And following what has been a crazy last few hours, last few days surrounding the center search for the Lakers, it has officially come to an end as a brand new report from Mark Stein has revealed that the Lakers are signing DeAndre Ayton. We're going to break down these exact reports, discuss what they mean going forward. And folks, it is happening. The Lakers get their guy and acquire a center, and a center that not only did not many fans see coming a month or two ago, but getting him at a deal that is an absolute finesse. So to break down that and discuss what this means going forward is, folks, there's still many more moves to come. But before we can do it all, if you're a part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. Your guys' support has been unbelievable. You've been absolute beasts. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys again for your continued support. Folks, a lot to go over today. And it is, of course, officially 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific time, which means DeAndre Ayton has officially cleared waivers. And what that means is that he can now sign. However, despite all this, a brand new report has dropped from Mark Stein just moments ago confirming that he intends to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. Breaking: teams around the league expect DeAndre Ayton to commit to the Lakers after 5 p.m. today. And of course, we're now just going to be waiting on the officials, the actual number in the contract, all those different things, and of course, the Shams bomb. But Mark Stein, one of the most reputable reporters in the game, basically came out and confirmed that he is going to be signing with the Los Angeles Lakers. And this is a very interesting move for the Lakers. And of course, we don't know the exact details of the number yet. I have a report that just came out from Anthony Irwin. Also, to clarify as well, Jake Fisher reported that they are going to be signing, closing in on DeAndre Ayton as well here. So it's multiple reports. It's not just Mark Stein, even though, we trust Mark Stein over here. Just waiting for the Shams bomb still. But let's dive into this a little bit now, because there's a lot of ways they can go about this. Now, again, there's been some rumblings about the actual number in between $8 and $9 million. Of course, they have the MLE they can work with. Specifics will flow throughout the night. And I also think this is going to start a ripple effect now and a domino effect of more moves to come for, of course, the Lakers here. And I think it's going to be not only DeAndre Ayton, but many more moves. And you can see this here. There's growing optimism within the Lakers that DeAndre Ayton will be signing, working to find terms, but some around the league pegged him at the remaining $8.3 million this year and a player option for next. And of course, we'll have another video once the official details come out, but I want to get you guys the up-to-date news. And the news is that he is going to be signing with the Lakers. I guess bearing a completely random change of heart, but multiple reports now. Waited for a few. Jake Fisher, Anthony Irwin, and, Anthony Irwin we trust not that much, but and Mark Stein, one of the most notable reporters in the game. Now, let's dive into what this means. Now, of course, there has been speculation dating back to, of course, a while about DeAndre Ayton. Amico coming out and saying DeAndre Ayton expected to sign with the Lakers. There was a bunch of different things. You think back to a few days ago here. So we know that an important note here, within this DeAndre Ayton contract, his buyout with Portland forfeited the $10 million of his $35.6 million salary in 2025-2026. And that made things very interesting. You see here from Daniel Starkland, if this is the case, then the Lakers may be able to get Ayton for $10 million and use the rest of their MLE elsewhere. And of course, this tweet came out before they signed, they signed the other guy. But regardless of that, of course, they give up $12 million. But now for DeAndre Ayton at about 8.6, or 8.3 rather, I really like the deal. And I've been a huge advocate for DeAndre Ayton here on the channel. I made a video, I think 3 weeks ago, when there was speculation about Portland being willing to trade him. You can go back and look at it. I made a video saying I think this would be a fantastic fit for the Lakers. I think he has the most upside out of Eddie Center. And the reason it's a robbery, folks, this was a guy that nobody expected to be available just to sign with an MLE. And now the Lakers have almost lucked their way into, again, do I think he's a fantastic, no weakness center? He has some weaknesses, work ethic, all these different things. I covered it in a video this morning. But what he does have is a very high ceiling if he plays really, really well. And of course, if he, just ends up playing to his ability, then of course you're in very, very good shape. And he has the highest upside out of any of the centers he could have gotten. I'd argue he has higher upside than Nick Claxton. Now, do I think Nick Claxton would have been a better fit? Probably. But you're getting him without giving up any assets. You can now take some of your future assets because you kept Dalton Knecht, you kept your first round pick, you kept your swaps, and then use that elsewhere to get a wing, or maybe even, something else. Maybe trade with Nick Richards for a backup center. You look at his stats, he was elite. Some of the best, seasons ever had was with Chris Paul. Maybe the Lakers look at Chris Paul, like I discussed in my video earlier today. But for this, it's like, you look at his stats, 14 points a game last year and 10 rebounds. He's averaged a double-double every single season of his career. And there's a lot of talk about his work ethic, a lot of talk about his defensive abilities. At face value, let's just take it what it is. He's a former number 1 overall pick in the same draft class as Luka Doncic, Marvin Bagley, of course. You're getting a guy who has averaged a double-double every single season of his career. Not many in history have, done that, through the first however many games or however many seasons. And not only that, you're getting someone who is super young. And if things work out well, he has the potential to be the starting center of your future if he reaches his ceiling. And I think if there's any chance for him to turn around his attitude, turn around his work ethic, turn around everything, it is going to be through Luka Doncic and LeBron James. And that is obviously the biggest obstacle here now will be his work ethic and things like that. And of course, it's very good news. And of course, it was between the Pacers and the Lakers. So bearing any unforeseen changes, again, we're waiting for the Shams bomb, but of course I'll have a video once that happens. I just love the fit for this team. You pencil him in now, Luka, Reaves, Rui, LeBron, Ayton. That's pretty dominant. Now, will his defense, he's a great pick and roll guy. He can create in the post. He can actually help maybe play, provide some offense for maybe even that second unit that lacks offense at times and really help take some of the pressure off Luka, take some of the pressure off specifically Austin Reaves in those times where Austin Reaves is playing the point guard spot for that second unit with no Luka and LeBron on. You now have an offensive threat that you wouldn't have gotten with Walker Kessler. You wouldn't have gotten with Nick Claxton. You wouldn't have gotten with a lot of these guys. You have an offensive threat who can actually create in the post, especially when, if given the opportunity to. And I think it's just a very high upside play. And I truly think that I don't think the NBA is happy that the Lakers were able to pull this off. This was not supposed to be able to happen, at least for nothing, because now they can take some of the assets they have remaining and go ahead and use them towards a big, big trade, potentially even a move for another 3-and-D wing. And of course, there's other players available as well. D'Anthony Melton, keep an eye out on him, we're told. So it's going to be interesting here. And looking at what they have, again, we know this has been a while now, all this brewing, and Windhorst saying they expect a center by midnight yesterday. It didn't happen. Looking at what they have left, Lakers had signed Ayton and still have Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, and Rui Hachimura, all expiring contracts that help match salary. They have all of their picks remaining now. They have their 2031 first and then 3 more swaps and Dalton Knecht. They can take that and flip him into a very solid player. What type of player can you get? That's still up in the air. But I'm very confident in their ability to go out now and actually make this team a competitor next year. And for all the reports you've been seeing about them committing to 2027, you get a guy who averages a double-double. Like, I can't express that enough. Yes, there are shortcomings. I know a lot of people are probably going to be commenting, I don't like Ayton. He's very bad, all these different things. That's fair. And of course, you're entitled to that opinion. That's perfectly fine. But he is very, very solid. And at the end of the day, he is an extremely talented guy. That's the reason he went first overall. And I'm excited to see what he can do with one of the best facilitating point guards you've ever seen and one of the best point guards in the league. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. Of course, as specifics roll out, we'll keep you up to date. But folks, all signs point to him signing in the next little bit. And man, oh man, what a robbery for the Lakers. And I've been on the train for a while. I'm excited to see what he can do alongside Luka Doncic. You guys have been absolute beasts with the support. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.